from the very beginning of Tron 3, they literally were about to film back in 2015 when Disney just shut down production. Since then, the script for it has gone through just so many changes, and apparently there were 15 different writers. Jared Leto, I guess, was involved from the very beginning. He was that character, Ares, but he was definitely the villain. But somewhere along the way, they decided, let's just get rid of all the beloved legacy characters that we had established in the previous film, and we'll turn the character of Ares. So now he is the main protagonist. And Jared Leto was always a very strange decision, but it was fine when he was like, okay, I could see him as the villain. But now they're trying to do this thing where we're taking him from that original script, from the villain to the main protagonist. What were they thinking? The best that I could hope for is that they were hiding the good stuff, trying to do something like No Way Home. I just thought that they were keeping their cards close to the vest, paving the way for an epic return of Tron. And of course, to have a significant role for Sam Flynn. Garrett Hedlund seemed excited, and I remember at one point it was Tulsa King Season 2, and he had a new haircut for that show that looked very much like Sam Flynn's hair. But any hope that I had for something that would set up an awesome storyline to see the return of Tron after he was just left sinking in the sea of simulation, it just seemed like a no-brainer to pave the way for his epic return. But apparently that's not the case. That was like the one thing I was hoping. You can't be pinning all of your hopes of this franchise on Jared Leto. This is from Games Radar. Tron Ares director explains why Jeff Bridges' Kevin Flynn is the new film's only returning character. We wanted to take this into a new direction. Tron Ares director Joachim Roning talks franchise cameos or lack thereof in the upcoming threequel. And my initial reaction is a way to just kill any shred of hope that I was holding on to. And the explanation for this is very frustrating. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. So it begins saying Tron Ares is about to give us the first installment in the sci-fi franchise for 15 years. Jared Leto as a humanoid AI and much more besides. But the movie won't be giving us any surprise legacy cameos. Jeff Bridges is the only Tron actor reprising his role for the threequel, making a return as Kevin Flynn, which means there's no comeback for characters like Garrett Hedlund's Sam Flynn and Cillian Murphy's Dillinger Jr. There's a reason for that, though, although the team behind the movie slightly differ in what that is. So the director Joachim Roning says, these things are not only creative choices, sometimes actors don't want to be in it anymore. And I guess he could be thinking about Bruce Boxleitner, but I feel like he would have done it. He came back to make an appearance at the Tron Light Cycle run, roller coaster. I think he was burned before when they canceled Tron Uprising, an amazing show, and they just neglected this IP for years, and he expressed his regret that they did that. All you need from Bruce is his voice. I just don't understand how you couldn't have worked with him. If that is the case, I don't know. He just says sometimes actors don't want to be in it anymore, and he didn't say exactly who. Preceding this, it just mentions Garrett Hedlund's Sam Flynn and Cillian Murphy. And well, I can see Cillian Murphy, but can't you just recast that? And the way that Garrett Hedlund talks about Tron and his experience, I can't see him saying no. And I think he said that before. He wants to be involved. And I think I remember seeing or hearing one appearance at a Comic-Con where he was asked about it, whether he would be willing to come back to the franchise. I think he alluded to the fact that if this movie does well, Tron Ares, then there could be a return for him in the future. It just didn't seem like he would be unwilling to come back. He's always had very positive things to say about it, like initial frustration because their movie that he was going to be in was unceremoniously shut down by Disney. You think you're about to shoot this big movie, you're really excited about it, and then all of a sudden Disney pulls the plug at the last second. I feel like if it's Bruce Boxleitner that you couldn't get, I think that if you'd have done your due diligence and really tried to make this work, present something that he would have been totally on board with, that would have excited him to be a part of, I think you could have done it. I just don't think they tried or didn't try nearly hard enough. You can't make Tron without Tron. It's not a title. It is an entity that has always been a part of this IP. Tron fights for the users. This is what this whole IP is based around. Kevin Flynn is the one that gets sucked into the grid, this digital frontier, but Tron is the one that fights for the users. He is the hero. I just don't understand how also you can make a continuation of the IP without Sam Flynn on the real world side of it, to not have Sam Flynn after he was going to take the company back, was continuing on with his father's legacy and his sacrifice of his gift to the world with Quorra, and they're just gonna drop that. So continuing, it says, there are different ways of looking at that, but I think the story fell into a place where we felt that we didn't need the old characters to be front and center. We wanted to take this into a new direction, while at the same time honoring the universe that we're in. How do you honor the universe that you're in without Tron? Without Sam Flynn? How do you honor Kevin's sacrifice if Sam isn't in it? It's just the way he talks about the legacy characters. Oh, the story fell into a place where we felt that we didn't need the old characters to be front and center. That just sounds so disrespectful to word it that way. Wording that I've heard countless times before. It's now a red flag. We're taking this in a new direction. A new direction with Jared Leto front and center? Really? That's better? What's there to be excited about? This is supposed to be character driven. It's already character driven with what you've established. Oh, who cares about the old dusty characters? Is anyone excited for the new characters? Greta Lee, Jodie Turner-Smith, Jared Leto. I have never heard any hype about any of those new characters. It's mostly just been the soundtrack, the visuals, the light cycles. I've never heard anyone express like absolute hype over Greta Lee's involvement. It's just the Star Wars sequels all over again. So they didn't learn anything. This is exactly what they did with Star Wars. With Indiana Jones, Willow, Marvel. Did it work out for any of that? No. People in the industry are noticing these franchises have fallen so far from what they used to be in terms of their even critical and commercial viability. And there are insiders within Disney that are coming out and saying that they're losing young men and are trying to find ways to attract them. Well, is this the way to do that? By destroying the IPs that they loved, thinking that these new characters are going to suffice? So continuing on, we're telling a story that's 14 years later, and the most important thing is that we tell this new story in a way that works, adds producer Justin Springer. To just throw cameos in where it's a parade of people that we love from this franchise, I just feel like it's fan service that doesn't serve the story. Well, then don't do that. Don't just throw cameos in. No one's asking for that. Make them a part of the story. Why does it have to be one way or the other? I don't want this new direction that just completely dishonors what came before. I also don't want just Easter egg, member berry, throwaway cameos either. Make their appearances part of the story. That's such a lame excuse. Was Spider-Man No Way Home a parade of useless cameos? They brought all of those characters back from across those different movies, and they all had something significant. They were a significant part of the narrative and even some crucial character development. It wasn't a useless cameo. That's just such a lame excuse to justify the fact that you have no imagination and that you don't care about what came before. You don't care about this franchise. You don't care about giving the fans what they want. And you're using that lame excuse I've heard so many different times. We don't want to just throw cameos in. Then don't do that. Use your imagination and actually write a story where Tron returns in epic fashion to save the users. How do you mess that up? And how does that seem a useless Easter egg to you? Oh, useless fan service. It doesn't serve the story. Well, make it serve the story. I have been covering this, y'all know, probably like from the start of my channel. Tron is one of my favorite IPs. This movie I have been hotly anticipating. From these new comments, what conclusion can we draw from it? If he's telling the truth, then this will be awful. This is not what the fans want. If Tron won't be in a Tron movie, a month before your movie is about to premiere, you just drop this bombshell to kill fan expectations. I feel like he's telling the truth. And anything I can say to maybe justify or try to see a silver lining just feels like cope. I hope he's lying. I hope this is a misdirect. History just tells me it's not.